You won't leave until all your stuff is in the van. Okay, so this may be borderline a malicious compliance, but I'm sure this is a good one and it's one of my favorite stories to tell about my mother, and don't worry, I play in this as well. So this happened when I was in my late teens, 17 if I recall correctly, and was still living with my mum. During this time she had gone through a divorce with my stepdad. Let's just call him Richard. As the name applies, Richard was a real Richard. He was smug, arrogant, saw himself smarter than everyone else, and when he gets upset he can be a real devious bastard. Now Richard was still living with us as the house he was going to move in was still unlivable. So he would put on the charm trying to get my mother to take him back, but that ship had sailed long time ago, all while he's moving his stuff into his van. Very slowly. One day I'm sitting in the dining room eating my lunch when I hear my mum and Richard arguing about something. I only recently learned that they were arguing about how the house he was meant to be moving into that was unlivable was actual very much livable. They were going back and forth as they moved their argument in the dining room. I'm just sitting there just eating my sandwich. My mother is angry. Richard is trying to defend himself. Then a light bulb lights up over his head as that devious smile appears on his face. A smile I knew all too well. Richard, fine, but I won't move until all my stuff is in my van. My mother is pissed as she knew as well that he was dragging his heels with that, but then she collects herself. I can see the gears running, but didn't know the malicious compliance she was thinking up. My mum with sweet smile, fine. Then leaves. Richard, seeming to have gotten victory, leaves. To the next morning I'm in the dining room eating breakfast and my mother is standing at the window just watching Richard as he was leaving to go to work, taking my mother's car. Don't know why. To get there, it is an hour drive to get there, and he leaves pretty early. I hear the car turn on then drive off. The moment he gone, my mother turns to me. Mum, hey, up you up for some moving? Instantly I knew what that look was about yesterday as I smile back to her. We begin to move his stuff into his van. Moving his bed, his bedside tables, all his junk, finding any kind of room to put it in the van. We did not stop, not for a break, not for anything. We were on a mission. Professional movers would have wept by how well we did this. It was like a real life game of Tetris, rearranging pieces for the perfect fit, slipping into impossible positions. We started around 7:30, we finished at 1:30. The van was packed, and I mean packed. There was only enough room for the driver and that's it. We celebrated with a late lunch and just sat, giddy like little schoolgirls just waiting. Sure enough, about 4:40, Richard returns. Mum and I walk to the driveway to greet him. Mum, oh hi Richard, how was your day? Richard still having no clue. Oh, it was good. Dealt with some customers, got some projects done, the usual. Mum, that's nice. Well, you can go now. Richard now shocked. What? I can't leave. I told you, I won't leave until all my stuff is in my van. That smug smile returning on his face, it was too good. Me, you did say that, and there you go. I point to his packed van that was sitting only mere feet from him. He turns, he realizes the look beyond priceless. He turned to us, his face a combination of emotions. Richard, did you two do this? Mum, us? Oh no, we just found like this. Do you know what happened, op? I just played dumb, trying to hide my smile. Failing epically. Me, I have no idea, but since all your stuff is there, I guess you have no excuse to leave now. Richard just stared, a deer in headlights, his only bargaining chip on staying was gone. Without another word and defeat written on his face, gets in the van, backs out and drives out. We turned back inside glowing from our little achievement, knowing that we had one less Richard to deal with. Edit, wow, this blew up, and to the person who gave me the medal, thank you random person. I also edit some typos that you guys pointed out too, my bad.